About 6 months ago, I made a video stating that the statue hobby was dying. It gained a little bit of traction. I think most people in the comments agreed, and it's one of those videos that I still get comments on to this day. I think even last night or this morning, somebody commented on that video, and I also just so happened to notice a post in one of the Facebook groups of somebody stating a similar thing and kind of name dropping myself and Mr. X and other channels, saying that they feel like the statue hobby is dying and that YouTubers agree. Now, that post gained some traction. I think it had like 80-something comments, and I kind of expected people in the comments to be like, oh man, screw that guy GemMint, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But I didn't really see any of that, to my surprise. So most people in the comments there agreed, and I started to reply because I don't necessarily feel the same way that I felt 6 months ago when I made that video. And when I got to like the 5th paragraph, I realized, man, I got a lot to say about this. I should probably just make a video. So here's kind of why I feel like the statue hobby is in a better place than it was 6 months ago when I made that video. So let's start off with Sideshow. Sideshow has put out some great reveals this year so far, clearly adapting to this new climate that they're in. They're putting out great pieces at competitive price points, and they're stepping out of their comfort zone, doing things that they don't normally do. They're giving us quarter scale dioramas. They're giving us the same statue in multiple scales, and they're giving us these artistic versions of these characters. And that's because Sideshow has always gone out of their way to hire top tier talent, artists and sculptors like Daniel Bell, Martin Canali, George Villar. They get the K-Bros to help them on designs, which other companies hire them as well. But that's why with Sideshow, you get these artistic pieces that have expression and they have life within them. Most statue companies kind of recreate existing art, or they'll take inspiration from existing artists and recreate that in statue form, whereas Sideshow pays these artists to give us new visuals and realize these characters in new and different ways. So they've given us great stuff so far, like the Batman and Joker diorama, the Fastball Special, which I was alluding to, that has those 2 different scales. Yes, they are giving us their tried and true new Superman, new Batman in new ways, but they're also giving new characters like Dazzler. Sideshow is still the best bang for your buck when it comes to premium collectibles. And that's not even an opinion. I mean, that's just a fact. You're not going to get a quarter scale statue for a better price, a better value than with Sideshow. And they've also been focused on lower edition size. So I've felt a shift in Sideshow starting this year with all of the reveals, them partnering up with retailers again, giving a retailer exclusive for that Red Hulk. They revealed 4 new Hulk statues, color variants of the same one. I'm about to be 10 Hulks deep again, but I thought it was cool how they brought that back, something they used to do in the past, and give the Red Hulk version as a retailer exclusive. Then we have PCS. PCS has been one of my favorite companies ever since it was Pop Culture Shock, just because I'm such a Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter fan. And then when Ant Adams purchased the company, they've rebranded it as Premium Collectibles Studio. They've been giving us some of the most innovative statues that we've seen in a long time with different licenses as well. I mean, they're doing stuff not only with TMNT, with their 1/3 scale Legends line, the quarter scale animated series line, but Killer Instinct, Battletoads, Killer Clowns, and they're doing crazy stuff now with the sports statues, quarter scale Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, the life-size Jordan wings with the arms stretched out all the way, and the life-size turtle diorama, which the exclusive sold out within just a few hours. So not only are they being new and creative and innovative, the selling out is a good look for the hobby as well. It means that there is still interest if it's the right piece at the right price point, which that piece was even expensive in itself. But I don't think people understand how big 42 inches is. It's 41.5 in diameter. The turntable I use is only 24 inches, so almost double the size of that turntable is how big that Turtles diorama is going to be. Just to give you an idea, almost double the size of that turntable. PCS is continually putting out new pieces. I mean, their fine art life-size bust line, I've got that Maximum Carnage bust on pre-order. They've just teased their Gladiator Hulk version of that. And they've mentioned in the past they're going to be doing that with TMNT, with Transformers as well, hopefully with other licenses. So I'm excited about a lot of stuff that PCS is doing in both quarter scale and 1/3 scale. Then we've got Legendary Beasts. After the public breakup with XM Studios, they've been one of my favorites in the 1/3 scale statue space because, like I always say, they're giving us the definitive version of those characters. They have secured that 1/3 scale license for DC and Marvel for the Philippines, so they're going to be continuing their Avengers line. They're putting together their Justice League line. You guys may have seen me review the Superman. Batman's coming next, and we've already seen teases of the Wonder Woman sculpt and other ones that I don't know if they've made public yet. But Legendary Beast has made a commitment to complete lines. That's their whole thing. So if you want a museum scale, kind of Alex Ross inspired poster setup, Legendary Beast is going down that road, and I'm a big fan of what they do. Their Hulk is an incredible statue, and I'm excited to see what they end up doing with those other pieces that were kind of in limbo, like their Thanos and their Venom. From what I'm understanding, they're resubmitting those designs and will be trying to get the license to reproduce those, maybe with some tweaks. Now, when I hear people say that the hobby is too expensive, I feel like they're really referring to Prime 1 Studio and XM Studios. Let's talk about Prime 1 first. This video is brought to you by Bad Music, issue number 1. Following the battle at the Ninja Funk Dojo and the capture of BB, Bad Music retreats to their headquarters at the Nexus. With the love of Laser Wolf's life as irresistible bait, there's no doubt in Queen Bad's mind that her nemesis will come knocking and she's ready for them. Will Laser Wolf, JPG McFly, and Wolfgang see the trap for what it is or run headlong into disaster? Find out in Ninja Funk Bad Music number 1, hitting your LCS this October. They've kind of doubled down on that. They've made a public statement, something to the effect of, these are luxury items for high-end collectors, basically saying it is what it is. We know they're expensive. We know shipping's a lot. We know prices are increasing. We don't care. This is the type of product that we're making. You're either going to buy it or you're not. So that's the road that Prime 1 Studio has decided to take. And then you have XM Studios. So they've actually had a delay with a lot of their pieces, some going on a few years, and they were noticeably quiet about it within the community. They've since made a couple of public statements. First of all, the statement with the breakup between them and LBS. Then an update on the situation. What occurred was something with the factories, but they've got it all settled away and everything is back in production. And then they've recently given shipping updates. So a lot of these pieces that people have been waiting on, they have now given definitive timeframes on when they're supposed to be shipping. Now, that doesn't really solve the expensive problem. I mean, the thing with XM Studios, though, what you got to realize is they're licensed for Southeast Asia. So if you're in the States like myself and you're importing these through a third party, you're paying a premium for that. I mean, you're having to pay for sometimes 2 oversized heavy boxes to come overseas, whether you get it on a boat or on the plane. It's very expensive. For collectors within their region, it's not really that much of a price difference like when we're buying stuff from Sideshow in the States. But I know many of us are collectors in the States and we go through great lengths to get these pieces. They're going to be more money because of that bottom line. Then you got like Infinity Studios, Queen Studios. I mean, they've always been for the wealthy collector. I mean, $4,000, $5,000 life-size bust. I mean, that's too rich for my blood and for many of us out there. So that's always going to be what it is. And shout out to Iron Studios too. They've kind of always just been low-key doing their thing. They essentially own the 1/10 scale market, especially with the movie side, but even with the comic side. The X-Men vs. Sentinel dioramas were crazy successful. They've given us more proximity pieces than I could have ever imagined. And now they've even gotten the quarter scale license for Marvel. They've debuted the Beast at CCXP. So Iron Studios low-key always have been doing their thing. And they have the lower price point with the smaller scale and all that stuff too. But I say all that to say that I feel like companies are adapting. They're seeing what's happening. I'm sure it's affecting their sales. They see what the collectors are talking about in the community, and they're making a conscious effort to not roll over and lay down and die. They're going to continue to put out new pieces. They're trying to be competitive with the edition sizes, with the price points, and just make collecting exciting and fun again. So I feel better about the hobby than I did, again, 6 months ago. But let me know what you guys think about the hobby. Have you seen a shift in the last 6 months? Does it feel like there's a little bit more hope, some light at the end of the tunnel? Let me know in the comments down below. And thank you guys for watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.